Welcome back, listeners. It's time for Out of the Rut. It's your boy X.
This is Ron.
And we're recording today in Ron's new-ish apartment. You know, been here for a little bit, but you know, still relatively new. How's it been settling in, Ron?
It's great. I love it. It's a quiet area over here. It's a little different from like the city.
I was going to say it was a pretty chill. I mean, one easy drive here, but also like a very chill little neighborhood, chill little apartment. For the listeners, a little nugget for the future. We're looking to make this maybe our permanent location. Hopefully, add some video content to our repertoire of stuff. But you know, in due time. You know, like we've always said, we're just three guys who don't know what the fuck we're doing. So you know, time. It's a process, but it is a nice place, and I'm very excited for that transition when it happens.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
Before we get into, first off, if you're listening to this episode, it's probably coming from a week of not having an episode. So thank you for jumping back on. We found ourselves in a little bit of a rut ourselves.
Our
Ron.
own rut, yeah.
If you want to talk a little bit about that, Ron, tell the listeners about our rut we're in.
Yeah, we just kind of fell behind on recording some episodes. You know, it was getting hard with everyone being busy and getting an episode recorded. So
same with like it's summertime here in Chicago, and like those are like the only nice months we have. So it was so tough with everything going on.
2.5 at most, like
exactly. You know. So we're all trying to like squeeze in all of our summer fun before the weather gets shitty again. So listeners, we appreciate you jumping back. We're going to be doing some bulk recording, so hopefully we don't find ourselves into this scheduling rut again. But you know, hey. We're three guys who have full-time jobs, lives, on top of wanting to really dedicate time to this project. So we appreciate you jumping back on and you know, staying tuned with us.
I think it's been fun so far.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. I mean, at the time of this recording, we have about 500 lifetime downloads out of the, 12 episodes we have?
Yeah,
I think published at this time, which is, again, 500 more downloads than we were expecting. So thank you guys.
Thank you guys for listening and downloading.
And honestly, thank you everyone who has like either done a review, left a comment on an episode, interacted with us on Facebook through the questions that Caitlin posts. We love like the few times that we've gotten people reacting to those because, you know, our audience is pretty small right now. But we get kind of jazzed whenever we do see those interactions happen. So keep interacting.
Yeah,
keep doing it.
Looking to grow more.
Oh, hell yeah. We're going to be rocking out with another Reddit episode today to get a little filler going while we take a break between interviews. Hopefully we'll have another one lined up here shortly. We've had a couple people have to fall through, but you know, tis the grind. Tis the grind, man.
Ruts happen.
Ruts do freaking happen, Ron. How's your week been before we get into some stories?
You know, it's been good. It's been good. Really busy at work. A lot going on there. But just doing that, between that, the gym, trying to squeeze in some time with the family, you know, see people that forgot I exist probably because I stayed so far away for so long, you know. No,
for sure. I'm bad at that too. I always tell myself that one of these days I'll be good. I'll be a better communicator with people I care about. But it's not that I don't care. I want you to know if you are those people who text me and are like, hey, Xavier just always ghosts me.
It's not intentional.
It's not intentional.
Life comes up.
Comes up, and I just I read it and I tell myself, oh, I'm going to listen to it or give it a read and response later. And then
I have like 5 books that I was like, you know what? This summer I'm reading these. Like things are going to be different. I want to read. Mm-hmm. None of those books have been opened. And that is one. And that was one of my goals for myself. And I was like, you know, I want to read 5 books this summer at least, you know. But yeah, it didn't happen. Still on my bookshelf and still looking to read those.
Yeah.
But
hey, you know, how long of books are we talking? Like, are they like thick boys or are they little?
There's a couple thick ones there. Yeah. I'd say at least like you probably have a couple of them where you can get, if I'm consistent, I can get read in a week or 2.
Got it.
Maybe with my timing, maybe a month. But it's just like, I go to work, I go to the gym, I do all the house stuff, right? You're doing dishes, you're doing laundry, you're cleaning up everything. And it's like by all that time, you know, just getting ready for work, coming back, getting ready to go to bed. It's just, I don't know, the days go by.
Yeah, no, it truly does, man. And time is precious. And it's like what you do with your time, like it's like you want to own that time. And sometimes like as much as I will admit I'm not a reader. If it's over like 150 pages, your boy's checked out. But like even like the books that I really like, sometimes I'm just like, you know what? If I only have 30 minutes or an hour, even 2 hours, I'm like, am I really going to get enough out of this book in 2 hours that like I feel like I need to dedicate time to that versus something else.
Right. And then you feel rushed. You don't really enjoy it as much. Like that's what I can't do. I can't rush something that I'm trying to enjoy doing.
Yeah, I have to take my sweet time, especially when it comes to books. Like I'm that guy who has to like read the same paragraph like
5 times,
3 or 4 times to like really like let it sink in. What the fuck?
Like you're reading, but like your brain is somewhere else.
Always, dude. Always, my brain is somewhere else. If it could choose to be anywhere but reading a book, it will choose that. But you know what? I'm rooting for you, Ron. We'll get some books. Before we get into, I have a weird story. I got a new dentist, and I think I told you this off pod, but I'm going to share it with the group because I found it funny. I got the weirdest compliment from my new dentist the other day. Right, so they're like doing their like initial cleaning, like the hygienist comes in, they do all the real work. I say real work because I feel like the dentist always just comes in, takes a peek at some stuff, and is like, "Cool, great."
Dips out.
Yeah, so like the hygienist is doing her thing, right? She's scraping my teeth, getting all that bullshit out of there. And then the dentist comes in, and he's like, he's knuckles deep into my mouth at this point. And he's like, you know what? He's like, you're a great salivator. And I was sitting there again with his hands all up in my grizz while he's, inspecting my teeth. And I'm like, that is the weirdest fucking compliment. Like it's something I can actively control, like is just how much I salivate. He's like, yeah, you salivate so much. It's so great. And I was like, I found that so weird. And he's like, and then the hygienist chimes in and she's like, you know what? She was like, I thought the same thing. She was like, while I was cleaning his teeth, I almost got sprayed like 6 times. And they're like congratulating each other, like, oh my God, yeah, isn't that great? And I'm just like sitting there like,
what is going on?
Like, I didn't know that was something people should strive for. Is
right. Like, hey, your teeth are whiter. Hey, you have no cavities. You're doing great. Keep flossing.
Yeah, none of that.
Like, no, you have great.
You know how to fucking salivate.
Yeah, you know how to salivate.
Like, I was like, that is. I even
what
told
a spitter
them,
you are.
Yeah, the minute their hands were out of my mouth, and I was like, guys, for the record, weirdest fucking compliment. And they were like, yeah, it's just how it is. So guys, work on that. If you're listening to this, start working on
salivating.
Start salivating.
Look up ways how to do it.
Start spitting every time you talk, man. Really work those salivating glands out, I guess. I'd known that was something that I used to make this joke when I was a kid because when I was a singer and a performer and stuff, when the lights hit you and you start singing, you can see you're spitting everywhere while you're singing and shit like that. And I'd always wondered, like, I was like, I feel like I spit a lot when I sing in my overactive saliva glands, but it has been confirmed professionally that your boy can say it and spray it.
See, now, like, if I ever see people, like, when they're talking, they spit when they talk, I'm going to say that.
Congrats. Yeah, give them a congratulations.
Yeah. You have great salivary glands. Like, good work.
Dude, you know what? Like, I'm soaking wet from this conversation. Fuck yeah, dude.
Wet from this
yeah, you're like, go you, dude. Go you.
Oh, man. I don't even know how to take that if someone said that to me. I'm soaking wet from this conversation.
And not in the way you think either.
Yeah, right.
It's a completely non-sexy
the way you don't want to be
at all.
Yeah. Or you just gotta wipe your face off after every word they say.
Yeah, bring a rag with you everywhere and be like, yep, this rag is soaking wet. You got great glands, baby. Them glands are fire.
Those glands are fire.
You're wet. Saying it and spraying it.
Yeah.
All right, but we're gonna get into some Reddit stories, and we expanded our repertoire our net of subreddits to pull down. Ron, do you want to tell us a little bit about the subreddit you went down and what
I went
stories
down
you
a
pulled
rabbit
from?
hole, and I was trying to find something interesting, and I came across these petty or justified stories.
Ooh.
Kind of caught my attention, so I started reading them. I was like, okay, this seems a little interesting.
Some good shit.
Yeah, because like, it's like revenge, right? Like,
yeah,
when someone does something to you, like, what kind of revenge are you taking? And like, you gonna go overboard, or is it okay? This is
it's
justified.
like we can kind of gauge like what level of revenge we're talking here, and if maybe people went too far and shit.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. I kind of dig this. I kind of dig this.
Pull up a few of those stories, and we want to go over those and
cool.
see. Where
I also pulled up some of our standard type Reddit stories from the Deciding to Be Better, so we'll kind of mix some in. But I love the expansion of the ones.
Yeah, we're expanding our horizon.
Mm-hmm. Like we're growing. We're growers things. And showers, guys. Because we're going to
growers, showers, and spitters.
And spitters, dude. Sometimes you got to spit on that thing. And by that thing, I mean the microphone.
Yeah, the microphone. Of
course.
See, now I know, like, you're not sharing my microphone now.
No, we're going to start labeling.
Yeah, I start labeling of like, dude, why is this
mic
dripping?
Soaking fucking wet, dude? It's because I'm just sitting here licking it.
Yeah, just licking it, right?
Oh, God. We're stupid. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our first story. Ron, take it away.
Yeah. Oh, it is different too because we're recording early in the morning, which is different.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that's another thing. If you're listening to this episode, we're out of the rut in the AM today.
Yeah.
Usually we're afternoon, evening recorders, which is a little different for us. It's 9:30 a.m. on what is today? Tuesday?
Tuesday. Yeah.
The day we're supposed to drop.
Recording a podcast.
Yeah, calling in sick, recording instead. Screw work, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Don't fire me.
Yeah. We love you wherever Ron works. We love you. Please don't do that. But take it away, Ron.
Yeah, no. Okay, cool. So this is the first story. It's called, they titled it Petty Breakroom Revenge. And it was written by Sarah, who was 29, an administrative assistant at a marketing firm.
Okay.
Okay.
Very professional.
Yeah, right. Okay, so every office has a villain. Ours wasn't loud or obvious. Ours was silent, lurking, and armed with sticky fingers. For months, my coffee creamer kept mysteriously vanishing. Of course, it's the coffee creamer.
Dude, don't fuck with
I'm
a man
throwing
or a man's
hands if
creamer.
you're messing with my coffee. Okay, kept mysteriously vanishing from the break room fridge. I wasn't crazy. I'd buy the biggest bottle and even write my name on it in all caps with a Sharpie and underlined it for good measure. Within days, half of it was gone. Nobody wanted to own up to it and people shrugged it off. But I knew someone in that office was out there sipping my morning coffee or their morning coffee with my vanilla hazelnut creamer. First off, hazelnut, probably the best flavor.
I have to agree with you. Like I went through a phase where like it was vanilla all the way, and it's such a standard flavar. But I'll be honest, I had a little hazelnut in my coffee this morning. And I was like, dude, I've been sleeping. It's been a hot minute since I've gotten my hazelnut on, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to be hazily and vibe.
I remember because like not a lot of people brew like flavored coffee or like naturally flavored coffee.
Sure.
Panera has hazelnut black coffee. The moment I found that out, I was there every single day for probably like a year.
Dude,
that's where I got my coffee. It wasn't Dunkin'.
A solid
it wasn't
365
Starbucks.
days, your boy hitting that Panera.
Panera. I never went and got food. I've never ordered food.
Never.
I went in, I want a cup of coffee, got my hazelnut coffee, drank one, and then refilled it and left.
Nutty for some hazelnut.
Yeah, I am
that was
nutty
our
for some
boy at
hazelnut,
Panera.
dude.
Shout out to Panera.
Yeah.
If they want to sponsor.
Yeah, please do.
Send us some hazelnut coffee.
Yeah, we will.
Clearly our boy loves it.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Okay. So I decided enough was enough, and I set a trap. I bought 2 bottles, the real one, ... safely hidden in my desk drawer. The decoy, well, that one was filled with unsweetened condensed milk mixed with garlic powder.
Oh God.
Oh, my God. Thick, gloopy, and just waiting for justice to be served. And it didn't take long. The very next morning, the office went quiet, and then we all heard a dramatic gaggling noise echoing from the break room, followed by the thief who blurted out, "What the hell? What is this?" People rushed and saw the thief, Tanya from accounting.
Tanya, what are you doing,
Tanya,
girl?
Man, yeah.
You got busted, Tanya.
Busted. Spitting in the sink and acting like her mouth had been poisoned. So I saw this, walked back over to my desk with my hot, good-tasting cup of coffee with a victory smirk on my face. From that day forward, my creamer has never went missing again. Do I feel bad? Not at all. They weren't just stealing my creamer, they were stealing my mornings, my sanity, and frankly, my boundaries.
And money, to be honest. Like,
money,
that's your
that's
money.
not
You
cheap,
pay,
dude.
Yeah, creamer's expensive.
Coffee's expensive these
Yeah,
days.
heard that.
Yeah.
So, and financial.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All I did was serve justice with a dash of garlic.
Which is honestly a great way to serve some justice.
That was a great way.
If it wasn't in condensed milk, I'd be garlic powder solid.
Yeah, but mixing that probably tasted really bad. You're expecting a flavor and it's something else.
Completely opposite.
Yeah.
It can ruin ruin a day. And
It
honestly
can
ruin your relationship with that flavor too.
Yeah.
Like
No,
if you're
right.
thinking like hazelnut and you just get a fucking mouthful of garlic powder and condensed milk, like that might turn you off of hazelnut entirely just on that alone. So the question stands: petty or justified?
Yeah, that's the first question. Petty or justified?
So before we have a verdict, before you and I decide on what our verdicts are, let's talk about some things real quick. First thing I want to talk about is like office food etiquette, right? I'm of the opinion, not yours, don't touch it. Period. Hard stop. Even if it is like something that is in a container, like a big jug of creamer in this case, where you think like, what are they going to realize? Or it might not be a big jug of creamer for all we know, but I'm just assuming it's like a moderately sized thing of creamer. Right. Like even if it looks like it's a size shareable or that, what are the odds they're not going to notice? I'm just going to take a little bit. Not yours, don't touch it. Unless there's a sticky note on it that says help yourself or some shit like that. Right. Keep your grubby paws off my shit. And I don't care if it's creamer, my sandwich, whatever it is, dude. It's not yours, don't touch it.
I find it weird that people feel okay with touching other people's stuff.
It's weird to me.
Yeah, like I feel like you should not even have to label anything because if it's not yours, if you didn't bring it, leave it alone.
Exactly. I feel like you should label it if it's up for grabs for everybody. Like, you know what I mean? But if it's not if it's not labeled, don't assume that it's free agent. You know what I mean?
I think the only pass on this is like say multiple people eat the same thing and you took someone's yogurt on accident.
Sure, accidents happen.
But if you realize that, like if someone realizes that, like, oh, someone took my yogurt, then I'm going to put my name on it because this person also brings the same thing.
Yeah, and sure that you can take the first one, the first time someone takes your food as like a accident, but like 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 times, it's like okay, this ain't an accident anymore. Now we got some beef, dude. So I'm gonna start off there, Tanya. What are you doing touching other people's shit?
Tanya, like Tanya from accounting.
Yeah, it's like it's like we said, it's financial. It's some people's ritual in the morning, and to just be able to go to your office fridge and open it up and not see what you're looking for there, like that ruins mornings. That ruins work relationships. That ruins whatever. So let me call that for one. Yeah. 2, I think in the world of revenge, this was pretty moderate and honestly pretty effective.
I'm going justified.
I'm leaning towards justified. And like there's often an opinion people have about pranks, quote unquote pranks, of what qualifies a prank. And I think a lot of people say, oh, a prank is something that everybody enjoys. And like I don't completely agree with that because I just think that there are just bad pranks where it's like, okay, that prank was still technically a prank, but it was just kind of fucked up.
Overboard.
And then there's pranks that everyone can enjoy. So I think pranks have kind of a level versus like, oh, a prank needs to be this or a prank needs to be that. So I do think that like in the world of getting some office justice, I'm leaning towards justified.
I'm leaning towards justified.
Like you didn't kill nobody.
No one got hurt.
You learned a lesson. You didn't know who it was, or maybe you would have talked to this person.
Right. First Tanya should have talked to, was it Sarah?
Tanya should have asked.
Hey, look, I noticed your name was on this. I took some today. I hope that's okay with you. Something like that.
Now, the only thing I will say is like, I would suggest labeling your food if it's common practice for your office to buy food for everybody, because there's some offices that put creamer in the fridge for everybody, and like if that's something that your office has done normally and has done regularly, I would say maybe label your food then. But I don't get the impression based off of this story that is the case here. Yeah, it seems like this is just sort of like a communal fridge where everyone puts their work lunches and shit and puts their own stuff in. So I would say like that's maybe a detail that if it's missing, I'd be like, okay, maybe if there's a lot of communal food in there, maybe this was a little bit of a little petty, but
I mean, and like if I'm doing it right, if I'm taking some stuff, I am doing bare minimal. Like I'm gonna put a squirt or two in there. Yeah. Right? Like just so it's not noticeable.
Even if I ask to use someone's creamer, I'm still barely using it. I'm using a very modest amount.
Yeah. Right. Or like, hey, I'll use this one. When this runs out, I'll buy the next one.
Boom. Exactly. Establish a system if you want to do like a whole free-for-all type situation. Because there are some offices that do that and effectively do it, but there has to be that communication piece there, or like that rule of like, hey, this is how we're going to handle this. Right. You use gotta have a system. And never, absolutely never take the last of anything that's not yours.
If it's not yours, don't do it.
Even if they say like, yeah, it's okay that you use some. If there's only a little bit of creamer left, enough for maybe 1 cup, don't take it. Not yours. That's reserved for the person who purchased that bad boy, if they give you permission. Same with yogurts and anything. String cheese. Don't take the last one. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
That's one.
And the reason I actually brought up yogurt is because that used to happen to me in my old job.
Were you you had a yogurt thief?
I had a yogurt thief, right? And like dude, I need my protein intake.
Yeah.
The same, right? So
and like, let me guess, you're getting that Greek yogurt, right? You're getting the high protein. It's expensive. That Chobani.
Yeah. Well, what did I get? The Oikos. Oikos. Yeah.
I'm an Oikos boy myself.
Yeah. And
but that shit's expensive.
Yeah. And like I work at that job a long day. So it's like between meals, I also needed a snack. So I'm like, hey, I would bring like 4 yogurts a day.
Just
tell me, 2 of them were always missing. Like someone thought like, hey, this person brought me some yogurt too.
Yeah. He thought bringing some for the whole classroom, son. Come on, get out of here.
And it was like pretty often. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? I was like, whatever. Like, I'll leave it alone. Someone's obviously thinking they brought their own yogurt.
Yeah.
But it went on for a little while. So I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm going to hide this in like somewhere where no one's going to look at it. So I took it out of like the communal fridge and put it in like one of the like fridges with like actual food. So I was like, I'm not losing my yogurt anymore.
Nah. Like, don't be a food thief. I'll be honest, like, there's a lot of things with me because I don't get mad very easily. Even with like pranks and stuff, like even if it's like I could see myself drinking that coffee with some garlic powder in it and like I'm laughing it off. I don't get mad. I don't get mad at that kind of shit. But like I just don't do that shit. People who steal food are like lowest of the low in my world.
Right.
Food's expensive, man.
And people who do not put their shopping carts back. If you do not put your shopping cart back, unfollow us.
That's a pet peeve. Yeah, that is a pet peeve of mine. I'm that guy who like grabs like 3 or 4 carts on my way to drop mine off and put them all in. And just be like, you know what? Not the store's job, but I'm like, I'm doing your job as a customer, like the basic shit.
Right.
Especially if you leave your cart in a parking spot. Dude, go to hell. Go to his L.
Yeah, all the way to the bottom.
That's fucking the 9th circle right there. Yeah. Could not agree more, dude.
But okay, so do you think that this makes a statement for justice, or is it going to create like a toxic office environment from here on out in this situation?
I mean, that is always subject to the individual. You know, it's always a matter of who you're dealing with. Because some people, I think, this would happen to, and they'd get super bent out of shape, and it's war. Personally, like for me, I don't think it's that bad. I consider this a learning lesson, especially because they didn't know they couldn't find out who it was who was taking it.
Right.
I'm always going to say resolve your conflicts by communicating first. However, in this case, like I think in the world of how they handled this, like, Tanya, take the L, sister. Take the L. Like, just realize that you fucked up. Yeah. You got busted. Apologize to whoever's creamer you were taking. Maybe give them a little thug hug. Maybe buy, a little thug hug. Buy them their own set of creamer to make amends. And just wave the white flag, sister. You lost this one. Because I'll tell you right now, you start a war with someone, it's go time, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm a guy that if you want to have beef with, I don't mind having some beef, but I will finish the beef.
Yeah.
I will have the last laugh. I am petty in that way. So that's my take. I don't think it's worth retaliation from Tanya, but that's always subject to the individual, man.
Yeah, I think I would just like, take it as it is.
Take the L, Tanya.
But
and maybe swish around some mouthwash. Your breath smells like garlic, sister.
Yeah, bring a toothbrush to work from now on. Yeah, you might need it if you keep pulling these shenanigans. But like what I was thinking was like, can you imagine like say whatever this was a situation and the person you heard like yakking up, you walk in and it was like the VP of the company and your name is on that creamer. They're like, oh, okay, so this person intentionally did this. Now that they're going to find ways to get rid of you.
See, I'll be honest, though. I almost feel like if you're a VP, you deserve it more. You make the money to buy some creamer, bitch.
Like, right? Like,
if you, I feel like I totally agree. Like, it would be, I would be nervous if it was the VP who I pulled this prank on or, like, got essentially. But also, like, imagine being the VP and being like, "Yeah, I've been stealing the creamer." Like, I almost feel like that's more embarrassing.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
I'm like, yo, you probably make a really cushiony salary,
right?
You're the manager of the office. You're the highest level of or one of the highest levels of leadership within this business. Take the L.
Take the L.
Take the L. Yeah. If anything, because here's the thing too, and this is something that I remember feeling when I was a manager. Like, if I can showcase to my team that I can one, resolve conflict and take on conflict in a way that's very jovial and very like, maybe not comical, because I don't want to make a joke of people's issues or things like that. But like, if I could tag it with a level of sincerity, with a level of honesty, while still being very lighthearted about it, like I do think that there's a level of relationship that you can really build with your team, and being like, hey, you know what? This person knows how to manage, but they also know how to be a person and be a member of our team as well.
Right.
And I think if I was a VP, right, and this happened to me, I think there's almost a higher obligation. It's like, hey, just laugh this off, dude. Laugh this off. Showcase to your team that you can take a joke.
Yeah.
Showcase to your team like, yeah, you got me. You got
That's
me.
what
You
I
know
was
what?
saying. Like, if I drank that bag, all right, you got me.
But imagine like the buy-in from your team, that if they saw you react that way, they'd probably have a lot more respect for you and be like, hey, you know what? Like, we pulled this prank, we got them, but like, you know what? They were so cool about it.
Yeah.
They can take a joke. They learned a lesson. We laughed about it.
Yeah, I'm walking up to Sarah and be like, all right, give me some.
Yeah,
Pound it. Like, you
Give
got
some
me.
nuts, dude.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, and like I think that's something that's often missing in the
humor of it all. Yeah.
the humor at all, or like just the management world today. It's like, you know,
It's so like they want to keep it professional to a level where it's like it just seems like you can't
stuffy.
have friendships at work.
it's stuffy.
Yeah.
And
It's
I agree.
like there's like I think they're like making that line too thick. Right? Like these are people you're at work with all the time, every day, all day. Like you're gonna get along with them.
You should,
know?
you should.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and like there's obviously certain things you definitely want to steer clear from, like sexual comments, things like that. Things like that. I
stuff
totally
you-
understand.
for
Like
sure.
you want to keep that wall up there, obviously in a professional setting. But like
cracking jokes.
cracking some jokes,
know,
pulling a little coffee
prank
shop
here and
prank
there,
here
yeah.
that like smile for a while. Those are what make people hate coming to work a little bit less.
Right. Yeah.
And I think especially if they see that like done from leadership, like it cascades down.
Yeah.
If you're going to be that leader that like has this happen to them, and all of a sudden you're pulling people in your office and you're like, that's fucked up, blah, 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 blah. Like you're going to be quickly become a person nobody wants to work for.
Right.
And so you got to walk that line, man.
Yeah.
If you're too sensitive, you shouldn't be a manager.
Exactly.
If you're too sensitive. But
yeah, no, that was
were any comments on that you saw that jumped out? Like what was the audience verdict, I guess?
I didn't actually really go through the audience verdict. I would just like
I have a hunch, knowing what I know about Reddit, I have a hunch that most of them say it's justified.
I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Reddit's a pretty savage place, and usually you can get justified. You can get a justified reaction for a lot worse.
Right.
So I assume something like this probably got the justified reaction. But no, that's a great one. Should I throw one in there next before we go into another petty one?
Yeah, if you want.
Cool. Yeah, I'll throw one in. We'll bring it back to a serious tone, and then we'll go back to fun, and we'll just kind of alternate from there. So my story comes from the Deciding to Be Better subreddit, the one that we've tackled before. I thought this one was an interesting one because I'll be honest, this is a term that I feel like I've been seeing a lot more of, and I'll be honest, I don't really know what it means, and maybe you do, or maybe someone in our fan base can school me. But it says the title reads, "If I'm still a virgin, does that by definition make me an incel?" And like I feel like maybe I've been just outside of the community that's used this word, but it seems like this word incel has been thrown around a lot lately, and I can't super duper get a good grasp of what it means.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a dumb question. How do you spell that?
INCEL. Ron's going to do some Google searching.
Yeah,
so before we read this, let's get an
know where we're
idea
at
of
here.
what incel means. Because I am curious.
A member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women.
Okay, an incel.
Typically associated with the views that are hostile toward women and men who are sexually active. Okay, so basically they can't get a girl.
So God, you can't get a girl and you're a woman hater.
Yeah.
From kind of in a nutshell, that's kind of what I'm gathering.
So how old is he?
So this is a 27 male, and I'll read the title again. If I'm still a virgin, does that by definition make me an incel? All right, so here it is. I'm a 27 male who's autistic and still a virgin. I've just had trouble in terms of meeting women and pursuing a relationship and all of the benefits that come with it, including sex. Some have stated that this by definition makes me an incel, which I certainly don't want to be associated with, as I don't hate women or hold them responsible for my dating failures. I know that it's on me and me alone. It seems that a good majority of the incel community are virgin autistic men in their 20s. Not sure if that's accurate or not, but I'll take your word for it, Reddit writer. So obviously I'm a bit scared of being associated with this group. Am I by definition an incel or not because I don't agree with the ideology or worldview? Before we get into the comments, go ahead.
I mean, I'm gonna go with no, right? So like you led with your 27, like you're autistic, right? So I just think a big thing is people are not understanding your personality. They just don't quite get it, right? Like you're not really like relating to a lot of people, right? And it's hard. Like it's a hard position to be in, right? Like obviously you're aware that you're autistic, right? So that
self-awareness is a big
exactly,
piece.
yeah. So I don't think that you're incel at all. I think that you just have to find the right group of people to be around and find the right woman who's going to understand who you are.
Yeah, and like I agree with you. I think ultimately, if you do not share the ideology of those who sit or fit into the incel community, then you're not incel, regardless if you're bad with women or not, or quote unquote bad with women. Like that doesn't mean you're incel, especially if you lack the other kind of key ideology points that make you incel. Like if you don't hate women or like blame women for your shortcomings, you just know that this is a hurdle that you have to face because of
challenges that you're facing. Yeah, exactly.
Because of factors outside of your control. That doesn't make you incel. I feel for you, man, because I definitely think that like I'm not autistic myself, but I have autistic friends. I know people within my circle that are autistic, and like there's a lot of hurdles that you guys have to face just to exist.
Just to exist, yeah.
Let alone meeting people and wanting to connect with people in that way, But I agree with you, Ron. Like it's not a matter of you being incel just because you're a virgin. It just means you haven't found that right person to connect with you or that knows how to connect with you yet. Yeah. And that just comes with time and expanding your horizons of people. Also, there's also nothing wrong with being a virgin at 27. Like
you don't.
Who cares, dude?
Who cares? Like one, it's your life. Like who knows what you're focusing on? Like if you have real goals and you're focusing on something, or let's say you played sports and that was your whole thing, and you went through, or like you really were focusing on your career for a long time, and you kind of step back, you're like, oh shit, like I've been focusing on this for so long, I haven't really been paying attention to relationships. Yeah. It's a different, different side of things. Yeah, like, and I'm a firm believer too. Like I always thought it was stupid. Like when. I don't know. Yeah, I remember thinking this when I was in high school too, or in like, college, but it's like this idea that like sex defines an aspect of who you are is just like so like dumb to me. Dumb. Like it's stupid. Like, oh, you're still a virgin, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, who fucking cares, man? Like life already sucks. You have to like in so many other ways. Exactly. You have to be so bored with your life to be like out there judging other people for stuff, which like that I never understood. I was like, don't like go do something with yourself. Like, yeah. You're obviously like if you're out there judging people, you cannot be in the place that you want to be at, right? Because you're looking for drama, or you're looking for people to like, I don't know, attack because like you are not okay with yourself. Yeah, and like prioritizing other things other than just finding a partner is 100% okay. Yeah, like even when you're a kid, man, like you don't have as many responsibilities when you're 16 through 18, not yet until you graduate, get a job, start a career, things like that. But like and you have like parents who are like really strict, like, hey, you're not focusing on relationships, you're doing this, you're going to be academically here. Like they have so many like their parents have goals for you too, and like they're just like putting so much pressure on you because they want you to live a certain life and you're not even thinking of anything other than like pleasing them. Exactly. And like the thing I would think too is like reading this, like clearly this person writing this like knows they're autistic, and I think I can at least like looking into the subtext of it, it seems like being autistic really does define this person's personality a little bit, which like it kind of has to, but like something I would think about is like ask yourself like if you feel like you're having a problem connecting with women because you're so self-conscious about how you are perceiving yourself. Like if you're at a date with someone and you're just like, God, I'm autistic and I'm awkward and I'm struggling, like ask yourself, are those feelings permeating through your conversations with people? Right. Are you projecting that? Because some people can see that and be like, oh, this person's really uncomfortable or this person's odd, when really it's like you are like internally struggling with this idea of like worrying about how you're being perceived. It's and like, you're harder on yourself than people are on you, right? Exactly. Like you're judging yourself more. So whatever you think is going on is probably not going on in their head. 9 times out of 10, it's not. Right. So like be kind to yourself and just ask yourself, like being autistic is just one small part of your very vast personality. Like, don't worry about that. Like, it'll come out organically if you are or not, if that's what you want to disclose. But like, if you feel like it's dominating the conversation, or if it's forcing you into a position where you feel like you can't really connect with people, like, focus on other broader parts of your personality and see how that resonates with people you communicate with and build relationships with. Yeah, what I would say is like, try to put yourself around people who are into the same things as you are. Like if you're into sports, If you surround yourself with people with sports, guess what? You're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
You're not going to come off awkward. Any hobbies that you like to do? Like for me, like obviously I go to the gym. I could talk about the gym for hours.
Hell yeah,
right?
we talked about the gym an hour before we started recording.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like if you find like either hobbies, interests, things that you're like relating to people with, it's going to be so much easier to find your group of people and feel more genuine in conversation. So you won't be thinking in your head like, am I being awkward? Because like I get that. Like if I don't like relate to a lot with somebody, it is hard for me to want to be in that like moment talking to them. It's like, fuck, like I can't wait till this conversation ends. I gotta go. I want to leave, man. But like if it's like something that like I'm passionate about or something that I care about and like we can relate on it, it's dope. It's like, oh shit, like 6 hours went by and we're still having this conversation. Like hell yeah.
Exactly. And surround yourself with people that you like, that you can talk, like then you can talk as much as you want about it and no one cares. Right. Honestly, we live in a society now where I think a lot of people struggle just holding a conversation. So being around someone who is good at conversing or is just willing to just like, I don't want to say word vomit, but like essentially like carry the conversation. Like most people are kind of like, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Less talking I have to do.
I have to do. You're right. That's how listening. I am in most cases. Like, yeah, just keep talking.
I'm that opposite guy. I'm the one who won't shut the fuck up. Yeah. Everyone's like, yo, dude, you literally like wrote a whole book in your mind in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And wrote and read it to us. Some comments here. I only pulled one comment for this one because I think it perfectly kind of encompasses what we were saying. The comment says, no, the cognitive meaning and slang meaning of incel has significantly diverged from the original shortening of involuntary celibate. I guess that's what fun fact, I did not realize that is what incel stood for. Involuntary celibate. This is now a linguistic distinction in the term. And incel is definition hateful and misogynistic. Perhaps you are truly involuntary celibate, but that is not sufficient to make a person incel by modern definition. In fact, I have even seen men with children who have obviously had sex in the past be referred to as incel because their hatred of women and need to blame females for all of their problems in life.
First off, yeah.
So incel is a little bit changed its meaning over time, where it used to be involuntary celibate, which is kind of where this the actual writer is, versus what incel means by today's standards, which is people who have had sex or haven't had sex or have sex, but they just don't like women and blame women for their problems.
That's a wild thing to do. Like,
yeah, I feel like
my life sucks. It's women's fault.
Yeah, like, dude,
that doesn't make any sense. Like, I think like, what if you're like obviously outside of his like situation? Yeah. Like, if you're like a regular person, you're 27 and say you're a virgin, or like you're just angry at life, whatever the case is.
Yeah,
and your idea is, I'm not where I want to be because of women.
Yeah, you're shifting the blame, buddy.
I think you need to like step back and really look internally and see what's going on with you. Like,
I feel like whenever things like this come up in life or whatever, and it doesn't even have to be about sex or whatever, but like whenever you feel like you're not connecting with someone or a demographic of people, in this case women, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing first? You have to put the mirror up to yourself. And if you're incapable or unwilling to do that, you're gonna find yourself ostracizing yourself from not just women, from a lot of fucking people,
friends, family, like all of it.
Yeah, because
people aren't gonna want to be around you.
Yeah, and you're just constantly gonna be blaming others for your problems and in these personality flaws, when really it's just you haven't found the right person, you haven't been around the right person, you haven't asked yourself the right questions of what am I doing, and blame, honestly, like the surefire way to make sure you stay an incel for the rest of your fucking life is to be an incel. Is to be an incel, like,
and have that idea
exactly in your head. Like if you're blaming women and hate women for the fact that you're an incel, you're gonna just remain an incel.
Yeah,
and you're essentially causing your own problem.
Yeah, right.
And I stopped feeling bad for you at that point.
Yeah. No, I think you just step back, work on yourself.
Yeah,
ask
yourself, hey, what about me is not resonating with women? I'm not saying change all your personality, but maybe it's just one small thing.
It could be one small thing. Yeah,
just be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm talking about an ex. Maybe I'm starting each date with, hey, I want to get married. Maybe like there's a lot of things that could turn people off of wanting to continually pursue a relationship, but blaming them is not the way to do it, man. I know this wasn't petty or justified, but hey, you're justified in your feelings, my virgin friend, and you know what? You'll find someone that you connect with, especially since you don't hate women.
Right, exactly. You seem like a genuine guy, so
hell yeah, you just got to find your right person.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, that was a great conversation. I liked both of these so far.
Yeah.
Ron, let's go into our next story, buddy. Is this another petty or justified?
Yes, petty or justified.
Ooh, all right, let's cook.
This is titled The Wedding Invitation War.
Dude, wedding drama gets me going
all the time. Just weddings bring out the worst in people.
That's why I didn't have a wedding. Me and my wife eloped.
Smart.
Yeah, just me and her on a beautiful beach in Hawaii. Worth it.
Yeah.
Let's shoot.
All right. So this was written by Daniel, 34, IT support specialist. Guess he felt like the need to put his career in here. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, hey, maybe plays a factor.
Could. All right. So weddings are supposed to be about love, unity, and celebration. But in my family, it turned into a battleground. When my cousin announced her wedding, she sent out invitations to almost everyone, except me. At first, I thought it was a mistake. We grew up close, we spent every holiday together, and I couldn't think of any bad blood between us. So I called my mom, who awkwardly admitted that my cousin told her that she had to keep the guest list tight. So I let it go, or I tried. But then I scrolled through Instagram and saw that she invited people that I hadn't seen her talk to in years. Some were practically strangers. That's when it hit me. It wasn't about the budget. This had to be about me.
Okay.
I decided that I wasn't going to sit back and mope. On the day of her wedding, I RSVP'd no, which was very easy since I wasn't invited in the first place.
I'm surprised. It must have been one of those online RSVPs and stuff.
Yeah, right. But instead, I threw a not invited to the wedding cookout at my house. I posted pictures online with people with burgers, drinks, backyard games, dancing, everybody holding up their cups, having a great time. I captioned all of these posts, Party of the Summer, sorry if you weren't invited, the guest list was tight, #worst cousin ever, and I tagged my cousin and everybody who went to the wedding in that post.
Oh, okay. Holy shit.
Yeah, okay. Within hours, my whole family, including my cousin, were blowing up my phone. They were offended about the post and were pretty angry too. My cousin got so upset she broke down crying because she felt like this took over the joy of her wedding.
Shit.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Oh man, half of my family understood why I was upset. The other half, not so much. So now we were divided into two camps. The ones who thought I got justified revenge and the ones who think I ruined the wedding. Personally, I don't regret it. She wanted to exclude me, and I gave her exactly what she asked for, a wedding without me in it.
Okay. No, don't tell us the verdict. No verdicts. No verdicts yet, because let's talk about this. So there's a couple things. I feel like the OP, the poster, is taking this a little too personal. Because and remind me, did it say this is their cousin, right?
Yeah.
Did it say any other family weren't invited?
No. Just this cousin.
I feel like it doesn't specify or not specify that.
Right, yeah.
So that's a little bit tough to know, and that'd be something I would want to know if I was in this situation, if I was going to give a real piece of advice to this person or a real snap judgment if whether it was justified or whether it was petty. I will say, just because you see someone invite friends that you don't think they've talked to in a long time, I would say you can't assume that they haven't communicated or haven't been talking, because they say that I saw them invite people they haven't seen in years, blah blah blah. And it's like you might be assuming they haven't talked to each other in years. I mean, how often are you around your cousin to know I know every single person that they've talked to, a relationship they have? I get feeling bummed. Or being like what the hell?
Right.
And some people are closer with their family than not. I won't say I feel like my cousins, maybe we'd all have different answers to this. I don't feel like I'm super close with my cousins, really, to where if I didn't get invited to their wedding, I would kind of understand. You know what I mean? We have a pretty distant relationship. We talk every now and then. We're civil. We text every now and then on birthdays, on anniversaries, things like that. But outside of that, we're I like a Facebook post, but that's about it.
Right.
So like I wouldn't personally feel that upset about it. However, if you are from one of those families that is very tight knit and close, like I could see being like, yo, what the hell?
I think like
go ahead.
No, I was like, I mean, depending, like, 'cause it didn't say if the mom was invited when he called her and asked.
Yeah.
But if she was invited and then the son wasn't, that's where it kind of gets a little like.
That's where things get a little dicey to me.
Yeah.
But to go as far as to throw a party and to like caption it, to me, it's getting a little petty to me at that point. Like, again, like if I have to believe that if you have a relationship with this cousin to where you felt like you should have been invited and that it hurt you so bad that you didn't get invited, I have to imagine you're close enough to have had a conversation.
Right, reach out.
Just have like, hey,
did my invitation get lost in the mail? Just kind of
or even just like if you knew you weren't invited for X, Y, or Z, like just ask. Be like, hey, I feel like we have a really close relationship. I felt like based off of everyone who was invited, I should have made this list. Is there a reason why I didn't get invited? Is like if you have like
right, get an answer before you go all like overboard like this,
because then they could tell you like, oh, you know what, like this is why, and they could have a very justifiable reason why. It's maybe unlikely or maybe won't meet your standards of what a good justifiable reason is, but it might be justified to, you know, the surrounding environment and shit, you know, or the surrounding people involved. However, like because you went ahead and skipped that part and went right to the party, I'm kind of like, a little bit of a misstep there, home slice.
Right. I mean, I think the thing that would have like, I mean, obviously I would have left it alone, but whatever. But like the strangers being invited over, like the close cousin is like, I could see where it gets a little like, okay, you barely even like speak with these people. Why are they invited? But yet we are spending every holiday together. Why am I not?
And that's why I need more context on that relationship. Like, are these people like genuinely strangers to the person inviting, or is this like the perception that like, oh, I haven't seen you talk to this person in years? Like that, I'd need a little bit more info on. If it is one of those things where you truly haven't talked to them in months, years, whatever, and you went and didn't invite your cousin, I would agree. It's a little bit of you're making a statement by not inviting your cousin.
Right. But majority of people said it was petty.
Most people, I would agree. It's a little petty. I would say like, if anything, have the party to go and tag people who went to the wedding and tag your cousin in it. That to me is where it takes that step too far. By all means, have a little shindig. Make it unassociated with the wedding. Right. Even if it's like out there on the internet, not related to the wedding, but you know it is. Right. Like,
or you know, worst case scenario, do that, and then when you see her, be like, and she found out about the party, I go, you know, my guest list was tight. Crack a joke. Yeah, make a joke out of it, whatever, after the fact. And I would say in that case, if the person getting married, if they got salty at that, I'd be like, hey, get a sense of humor, sister. Right, yeah. Chill. But like, I understand this person being upset that they and all their guests were being tagged in these photos and very clearly making a bold statement. Right, about, hey, like for it to take over the wedding and everybody getting involved and then like talking about it and like not even paying attention to the wedding no more because they're like looking at the drama. Yeah, exactly. Like keep your drama internal and fucking communicate. Handle it after the wedding, I think. Yeah. Like, I just think this could have easily been a conversation. Yeah. Easily. Yeah, even like you said before, like, hey, you know, I wasn't invited. Like, is there a reason why? Yeah. And then by all means, if she says, nah, I didn't invite you because you fucking suck, then by all means, have your shindig then and tag whatever the fuck you want. But like, at least you have that answer. Right. You know why. Yeah. Like, it'll be more justified. Exactly. You gain a little bit more of a leg to stand on if you know those things. Cause it does. Right now, it's just kind of like, you're kind of a dick. Right. So how are you handling this? Like, say like someone even closer. Like, I don't know, like someone real close to you. Like, say your best friend. My homie, my ride or die. If they didn't invite you, and then you asked, and you're like, you know what, man? Like, I just didn't feel like it was a tight list, and you just didn't make the cut, pretty much. I mean, I'm gonna put this from the perception of my cousins. And I can't even really do that because I've been invited to weddings from my cousins that I haven't been able to go to. So I'm sorry, Summer. And I'm sorry, Madison. I'm sorry, Mason. Sorry, all of my cousins who've gotten married that I did not attend weddings to. It is not personal. I am just shitty. But you know, it's again, I err on the side of like, there has to be a good reason. And if it's truly one that bothers me, I'm going to ask. Like, that's first and foremost. Like, I'm just going to ask, dude. Be like, hey, I
I felt like I should have been invited. Why didn't I make the cut? And 9 times out of 10, it is that. It's just like, hey, we only had so many people we can invite. Weddings are expensive. And like, to be honest with you, to me, like that is a completely valid answer to me, dude.
Right.
Money's tight. I'm not looking to have you go into thousands and thousands of dollars into debt just to expand this guest list so I get invited.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I just, that shit just doesn't bother me in that way, especially since I had a wedding that I didn't invite anyone to. So like, I feel like, because I handled my own wedding that way, I almost have even less of a leg to stand on because it's like I didn't invite anybody else to mine. Why should I assume I'm going to get invited to anybody else's? I just feel like that's kind of fair. But putting myself in the position of this person, just talk. If you're that close with this person, you should have talked about it first. Get your reason. Be like, hey, you know what? This is why. And be like, cool, you know what? You can set it and forget it. If you're truly as close as I feel like this post insinuates, then you should be okay with that answer. Yeah. If it is financial, if it is just a tight guest list, if you felt like certain family was invited, then you can be salty about it and you can vent to whoever you want. But I would say you should have get the answer before you do the party. I think the party could be justified. Could be justified if you have the answers.
Right.
And if their reason for not inviting you is petty, I think petty begets petty.
Petty gets petty.
Yeah, if you're gonna be petty, be ready to get petty, right back.
Get pettied.
Get petty right in the face, dude.
All right.
And again, if you're just going to further feel frustrated and upset that someone was petty to you, then you shouldn't have been petty in the first place.
Right.
It's that simple. But you want if you're gonna be the one that follows petty up with more petty, you need to give yourself a foundation to stand on and give yourself reasons to feel good about being petty. Because that's what's going to put you...
Because you don't want to regret it. Right? Like
exactly.
If you do something you regret it, then dude, it wasn't even worth it.
That's what's going to put you above. That's what's going to put you like above the person who was initially petty is like, hey, I was petty back to you because you were petty, but also like I did my back end work to understand and realize that you deserved this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because right now we don't know if this person really deserves this level of petty.
Right. Yeah. There wasn't enough answers.
There wasn't enough information. And honestly, based off of the post, I don't think the OP has this information.
Right.
To really attack petty with petty because we just don't know if the person was petty in the first place.
Right.
If I had $1 for every time I said petty, dude, we'd have a whole new studio.
Right.
I said petty so much.
Yeah, exactly.
But so I'm going to say petty. I'm going to say petty.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go with petty too.
Yeah,
that was a little much. Don't ruin a wedding. Save it for after.
Yeah.
Have an argument after if that's like the worst
Duke
thing.
hands, throw down later, dude.
Right.
Classic cousin fashion.
Yeah. Family drama.
Dude, hell yeah. That was a good one. I like that one too. Story number 2 coming from your boy X. This one's a simple one. There's no comments with it. It's relatively new or recent, back from the Deciding to Be Better subreddit. This one says, how do I not get so jealous? This one's seeking advice. It says, my boyfriend and I have been going out since December of 2024, so we're very close to our 1 year. I love this man, and he has showed me that he only wants me. I appreciate everything he does, and he is everything, but I can't help but get jealous of the small things. He rides a motorcycle, and he's telling me how he was going to ride it to his college. It's just a pit in my stomach. Everyone's going to be thinking about how hot he is. He's growing his hair back out. He, I guess, had it buzzed, and he looks like a fucking Greek god with his hair. That's a quote. A fucking Greek god with his hair. For more context, I'm halfway across the country right now for school. He gets jealous too, but I feel like for me, it's constant. I hate getting jealous, but I can't help it, and it's shameful on me. I don't want to be jealous. I want to be secure, and he makes it secure. I'm not sure what to do. Whew, okay.
That's a very hard internal battle.
Yeah, I'm going to tackle this from the beginning, right? Starting with my boyfriend and I have been going out since December. We've been very close to our 1 year. He only wants me, and I love this guy. 1 year is quick. 1 year is not a long time to be with someone. I feel kind of, if you're getting this jealous over such provincial things, I feel like you have to ask yourself if you are secure enough in yourself to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because right now it seems like you're jealous he rides a motorcycle and that he's growing his hair out and that in your opinion looks like a Greek god, which he may or may not. No pics. We won't be able to decide that for ourselves.
I think that's something you should be proud of though.
I agree. I think that if you're feeling jealous and insecure about such small things, you aren't feeling secure enough in yourself to be in a relationship, because these aren't big things like a motorcycle, a haircut, good physique. Like, I don't think these are reasons to project jealousy on. I do, and like I said, I think it's a reflection of yourself. And I think perhaps, especially since it's only been a year, I don't know if maybe you're ready for this relationship.
Right. Because you're going to start putting a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, and you're kind of already putting pressure on him a little bit. And it seems like you're putting that pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
And I understand that, like, being concerned of other people finding your partner attractive.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, if you're secure in yourself, if you truly love this guy, which I believe you do based off the post, or, I have to believe you do, like, there should be a level of trust that comes with love.
Yeah.
That should make you feel secure enough in the relationship to where you don't feel jealous over every single person thinking, oh, wow, holy crap, that guy's attractive. And be like, what the fuck? That's my man.
Yeah, right.
If you're feeling that way about people already after only a year, like, it's just not the foundations for what it could be a long-term relationship here.
Right. And I think, like, when you're in that position, like, you have to start thinking logically, right? Like, okay, I'm jealous that he does this, but has he given me a reason to?
Exactly.
Right? Like, how does he comfort me when I'm feeling this kind of way? Like, how does he reassure me? I think if you're like stepping back and you're seeing that he's doing all the things that he needs to, then start using that as your base of, like, trust. And
exactly, because it says right here in the second sentence, I love this man and he has showed me that he only wants me. And, like, those are good things. And those are things that should help you feel secure in a relationship, to where if other people find your partner attractive, he has acted in a way that shows you that he doesn't care about that.
Yeah,
he wants to be with you.
He only needs your validation.
And if those things aren't creating validation for you, or aren't creating that foundation of trust, then I don't know if there's anything this guy can do to further make you feel secure in this relationship.
Right.
The work needs to be on you now, because it seems like he's already doing that.
Yeah.
He's already making you feel like he only wants you. But if you're still not feeling that and you're still feeling jealous, then the problem is you.
Yeah, you got to work on yourself a little bit. Start doing things that make you feel good about yourself.
Exactly. Like, just ask yourself what you feel like is falling short, or what you feel like you wish was better, and start to be critical of yourself in a constructive way, and start working on yourself.
All right. And always be open about it. Like, be transparent about how you're feeling, because if you let it build up and he doesn't know, like, that's gonna be where you create, like, the problems. Like, the arguments will start flowing, and, like,
exactly. I think jealousy, like, is just as valid of emotion as anyone else. It's on the color wheel of emotions and shit that anyone can have. But, like, this should be something you talk to your partner about. Be like, hey, I'm feeling jealous, and, like, not in like a, oh yeah, my man is so attractive. Like, people often weaponize jealousy or make jealousy into a thing of, like, I want my partner to feel a little bit jealous because it makes me feel wanted. Yeah. Like, this doesn't seem like that. It just seems like this is the type of jealousy that I think, if left untalked about or uncommunicated, like, it's just going to get worse.
Right.
And, like, you need to let your partner know that, like, hey, I'm feeling jealous X, Y, or Z, and either communicate what behavior of theirs you need to see changed, or communicate that you feel jealous and then let them know, hey, I understand that this is a me thing. I'm feeling really jealous of you lately. It seems like, you look like a Greek god. You're riding a motorcycle. Everyone thinks you're sexy, and I'm getting jealous of it. And I don't love it, but I want you to know, as your partner, I understand that it's me that's the problem. I don't want you to change. I just want to be upfront with the feelings I'm having. Like, I think that's constructive, and I think you'd be surprised if this guy truly loves you, which I believe he does, and truly only wants you. Like, he's only going to further reinforce the idea that you're the one he cares about.
Yeah.
And
you just get constant reassurance on it.
Exactly.
And, like, it gives him clarity to understand, like, how he needs to treat you.
Yeah.
And, like, how he needs to go about certain things.
Maybe whenever he rides the motorcycle, he'll try to look uglier. I don't know. He'll give him the information so that way he can make an educated, informative change if he feels like one is necessary. Or, again, being open with your partner and honestly saying it out loud to your partner, I think, is very cathartic in its own right. Because it's like you're taking the weight of this thing off your shoulders, sharing it with the person you care about. And I almost feel like in some cases you sort of facilitate your own pathway to change just by getting it off your chest and telling the person you care about that this is what you're feeling. Even if they don't change anything about what they're doing, it's again, it's
It'll
sharing.
make you feel better.
Exactly.
Like, and then like when they respond to you, like you're going to get a sense of like relief or, peace of mind.
Yeah. And like me and my wife have been together for a long time, and we still have those talks every now and then where like we won't talk about something that's bothering us and we could feel like the tension grow. But it's like, you know what? Sometimes we just get it out. And even if the problem itself, quote unquote, problem isn't resolved, the fact that we got it off our chest and we shared that with the other person and the other person was able to receive the information, think about it, talk about it amongst themselves and facilitate change where they see fit, it's cathartic.
Right.
It's like, you know what? All of a sudden, nothing had to change, but the fact that I shared it with you, I all of a sudden feel a lot better, or I feel like less jealous, or I feel less, more validated. I feel more appreciated, whatever it is, But if your partner doesn't know that, or know the extent of it, rather, like they can't do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Jealousy is a bitch.
Yeah.
Jealousy is a disgusting
That's why I think
feeling.
like setting relationship boundaries are also important. Like, hey, like these are some things that I do not like to see in a relationship, or I do not like having my partner doing. And then you can give me your boundaries. We could talk about it and we can respect them.
And we could talk about whether those boundaries work for us too.
Exactly.
Because like some people like we talk about love language, we talk about whatever. And like those are all different boundaries for people. And like you can then decide for yourself, if your boundaries and my boundaries don't link up, then we know that we got to move on and this was great, but it is not going to work long term.
Right.
Or if there are ways to compromise, then you can do that. And that's growth too,
Right. And I think, when it comes to relationships, like compromising is such a big thing. Right, you
can't
arguably
just, the hugest thing.
Yeah, like like if you want to be with somebody, make subtle changes. Like, okay, like this, my partner doesn't like when I do this, or when I say this, or I'm around this. Like, I'm not going to do it. Because is it going to end my world? No. So I'll be fine. Will I be fine without it? Yeah, sure. So I can respect their side on it.
Yeah, and like I agree with you, because like I feel like right now, and again, take it with a grain of salt. I haven't been in the dating world in a very, very, very long time, since I was in school. I've been with my wife since I was in high school. So I have zero experience in the adult dating world. So take my opinion with a grain of salt. But like, I don't love the concept of like, you shouldn't have to change for your partner at all. Like, I get the message behind that, because you do want someone you're compatible with, and you shouldn't have to change every part of your personality to fit the person that's directly in front of you. But like, growth is evolving and changing over time. And if it's someone that you fundamentally are compatible with, right? You have the same ideals or the same ideas around marriage or having kids or your future together. And like you align on those things, which are things you shouldn't have. Those are things you shouldn't have to change if you feel one way about them. But like behavioral things should be a little bit more of like, hey, you know what? I realize that what I'm doing in this isn't great, or like doesn't work with this person, and I care about this person, so I should stop doing it. Like change in that way should be healthy and should be good and should be rewarded, or not rewarded, but celebrated, I guess. If you're going to be that person in the dating world that is unwilling to change for anybody, and you're going to find someone that fits your ideals only, you're going to be alone for a long time.
A very long time.
You're going to be an incel. Word of the day.
That is a word of the day. I'm going to put that in there.
We're hooked on phonics. Yeah. Today's word of the day is incel. How many times can Ron and I squeeze it into combo? But yeah, jealousy's a bitch, man. Jealousy's a bitch, but it's often a reflection of the person who is jealous. So ask yourself really why you're jealous. Is it really the fact that your partner is a motorcycle riding, long-haired Greek god, or is it that maybe, something with yourself and have that communication. Yeah. Talk it out.
Keep the door open for that communication. Constantly.
Constantly. The minute you stop communicating is when relationships crumble.
Yeah. Right.
Hell yeah, dude. That was a good one. No comments on that one. Nothing to add. Like I said, that one was relatively new skis. But give it to us, Ron. What is our next story?
Petty or justified? Okay. Parking lot revenge. These are always good. Written by Matt, 30, sales manager at a commercial real estate firm.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right. So, for 3 weeks, Zach treated the company parking lot like it was his personal VIP lounge. He'd waltz in around 8:10, and not only was he showing up late, but he would slide his truck into the spot right up against the entrance and act surprised when anyone dared look at him funny. Problem was, that was my spot.
Ooh.
I'd worked my way up into that sales manager position that came with that assigned spot. Okay.
Put the grind in.
Yeah, right. I earned the walk time privilege. Zach, a couple steps down the ladder from my position, had a spot that was about a solid 1.5, 2-minute walk from the door.
So this person had their own spot.
They had their own spot. But it was a little far. It was a 2-minute walk.
2-minute wait, a 2-minute walk?
About 1.5, 2 minutes.
Dude, that is shit. Okay, continue.
Yeah, right. Get your steps in, dude.
Yeah, brother. Come on, son.
But he kept taking my spot. And I did what any civilized adult would do. The first week, that it started bothering me, I sent a polite email reminder about assigned spaces, right? Nothing changed. Week 2, I sent another reminder, and I brought it up in one of the last team meetings that we had about assigned spots. Make sure we're respecting them.
So far, handling this pretty well.
Week 3, I started leaving notes on his windshield saying, "Hey, you parked in the wrong spot." He ignored it all. So at this point, I had enough. I wanted to do something that was going to make a statement. Something that wasn't malicious or damaging.
Cool.
But something everybody would notice. I recruited a couple of my coworker buddies who were not the biggest fans of Zach and totally cool with helping me with my plan. So we all met 2 hours before a quarterly meeting that we had, armed with reams of sticky notes and poster notes.
I see where this is going.
Okay. So the 6 of us spent the entire 2 hours covering his car with the sticky notes from bumper to bumper, roof to tires, windows, mirrors. And doing all that, we noticed one of his windows were down.
Oh, all right. Now we're cooking.
Yeah. So not only did we do the entire outside of his car, we did the entire inside of his car. Seats, the floors, the roof, the dashboard, etc., steering wheel, all of it. Every inch of his truck was covered and layered in these sticky notes. But it didn't stop there as well.
Okay. I thought, okay. Oh, God, now I'm getting a little nervous. No. Okay.
One of the guys came up with the idea and ran to the cafe to get a couple of hard-boiled eggs, buried them under his seat. And right before we went to the office, we noticed there was a couple of cones, a little walk away. So we went and we grabbed those cones, we lined them up behind his car, right? So we all took pictures and had a great laugh doing this. When 5 o'clock came around and everybody got off work, Zach walked out of the doors and froze. People streamed outside of the building to watch. Phones were out. People were in awe and laughing. He was livid, absolutely angry, just as we suspected, because he was a hothead, which just added to the entertainment, of course. And when he started yelling at everybody, he demanded to know who did this. We all watched him peel the stickers off until for a little while, and then everyone decided, okay, we're just going to leave him do himself. We're all going home, pretty much. Except me. I sat in my car watching it all play out. And when he finished peeling off all the sticky notes, which took him a very long time.
I'm sure.
He started his car. He was so frustrated, he didn't even realize there were cones behind his car.
Oh, no.
And he reversed over them, and one of them got stuck under his truck. And I watched him in absolute frustration struggle for 10 minutes trying to get it out from under his truck. I was feeling glorious about the whole thing. And I knew that he will never take my spot again. Right?
Oh, God, we're not done.
Yeah, we're not done.
Fuck.
The best part about this was HR stepped in, and I for sure thought I was getting fired because he wrote them an email explaining the entire situation.
Yeah.
But instead of firing me, all I got was a warning to not do it again and an email written to the entire office about professionalism and assigned parking policy. Oh, I could see the smug look on Zach's face when he saw me walk in the office Monday morning, still having my job with no real repercussions.
Yeah, I was about to say that's all the technical stuff that HR sends because they have to. But you could tell whoever had to write that email probably did not give a shit.
Yeah, they didn't. And for the next week, I heard him complaining about how he cleaned his car 3 times and couldn't get the smell out of his car. And that's probably because he never found the hard-boiled egg we stuffed away in there. Was it petty? Yes. But respect assigned parking.
All right. Ooh, woof, 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 woof. Okay, cool. So
I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was like, I'll admit, like, I think it was genius. I don't know. Like, I just know it's a great plan to put
I mean,
together.
sticky notes on the car is a classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Right? Because it's harmless, right? It's harmless, and it's like, it's a frustrating thing to come on head to take those off.
Yeah.
Like, not only the outside, but the inside too.
Yeah.
That's a time-consuming thing.
I think the sticky notes, fair game.
Yeah.
The cones, arguably fair game too. The egg
was a little far.
Egg was a little far because like you could really make a car intolerable with that kind of a smell and getting that kind of a smell out.
It takes a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially because they say they buried them in there, so like we don't know if they they're hard boiled eggs, so we don't know if they smushed the eggs in the carpet.
I think they put them underneath like one of like the floor things.
Yeah.
And like they push it down. So now he's not going to know where it's at.
Well, he's not going to know where it's at, but it bakes into the carpet that way. And like that, like it's not just simple as like, oh, removing the eggs, throw them away. It's like
it's summertime.
You got to get a car detailed and potentially like internally remodeled, I'd imagine. So the eggs, I would say we're taking a smidge far. The rest, I'll be honest with you, seems fair game to me, dude. Right? Like if sticky notes on your car makes you into a hothead, dude, like, first and foremost, don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Right.
And this is I call this street justice, right? Obviously it's not criminal to take someone else's parking spot, but like if you know what you're doing is wrong, and clearly I have to imagine this little hot-headed guy with a truck had to because of the emails and the communication then. Guess what, motherfucker? Like,
he had to come to you.
You got like, that's what I'll give to the OP. The OP put their time in to try to handle this respectively. After being ignored 2-3 times, guess what? Street justice takes effect, baby. Right. And that's what happens. You get your shit sticky noted. I even think the inside sticky notes is fair game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you leave your window down. Like, guess what, baby? That's what's going to happen.
What you get.
The eggs were a little much, but the rest was good. And you know what? If you're going to be a hothead, like, I'm a firm believer that, like, know your personality. If you know you're a hothead and you know that shit pisses you off easily, don't put yourself in a position to get pissed off, which means don't steal someone's parking spot, because guess what? You are then in turn pissing someone else off. And
which I think when you are a hothead, is like, those are things you don't care about, because not only are you a hothead, but you just don't care. Right? Like, I feel like those personalities like kind of like blend together.
Yeah. And like
you don't care about how people feel. You're just like, whatever. I'm the shit pretty much.
But like, I only care about my own feelings. So I'm a hothead, so I'm all pissed off, blah, blah, blah. It's like, to me, like, you're fucking stupid. Dude. You're
selfish.
Idiot. You're selfish. You're entitled. You're dumb. If you're going to be a hothead while in the same time not give a shit about the day you're ruining for everyone else.
Right.
So like, to be honest with you, I laugh in those people's faces. And like, for that, in that regard, the OP I think is 100% right to have done what they've done.
So like, you're going with Justified.
I'm going with Justified. The egg was a little much. But the rest, I'm going to say pretty damn Justified to me, man. Also, like, dude, take a joke. If the sticky notes you're going to be your big ruiner of the day, if that's going to ruin your whole fucking day and make you a hothead, like, dude, your life has to be pretty fucking shitty all the time.
Yeah,
dude.
Right. Yeah.
Or no, the opposite. The opposite. You have to live a pretty cushiony life if that's going to be something that pisses you off.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I think the cone thing was just like, because I used to work at a job.
Cone thing is kind of funny to me. I think honestly that's on the homie's fault. Like, bro, you didn't see no cones.
You should have cool your little hotheadedness down. And maybe you would have saw there was cones behind you.
Yeah, that's on you, dumbass.
But I used to watch this. Like, when I used to work at a restaurant, we used to like do this thing where we would park cars or whatever.
Sure.
And we have cones in those spots. So like, some Uber drivers would try to like want to take those spots just to like run and get food, like for the people who ordered them, and they'd run over those cones and they would try to reverse and it would be stuck. And they'd be like, "Can you help me?" I'm like, "You shouldn't have did that."
You're like, no.
Figure it out. So like, they would spend so long like trying to get, and they couldn't. Like, I'm not getting wrong. Like, when the car's low enough, it was hard for me to get those out.
Also, can we just comment that this person owns a truck and a cone fucking stopped you, dude? Like, what kind of truck are you driving, brother? You're a hothead in a truck and you're gonna get so pissed over some sticky notes and a cone, brother. Like, dude, tell me that truck is to compensate for something without telling me that truck is there to compensate for something.
Exactly. Yep. But no, that was a good one, man. That was a good one.
I like that one. Honestly, that one gives the out of the rut X stamp of approval. What was your take?
Oh, I'm saying Justified.
Sweet,
dude. Absolutely.
The out of the rut Justified.
Even like, because someone like that, I don't think, like, the sticky notes, whatever, the cone, whatever. but I think that egg really like, man, they did something to me. I'm never doing this again kind of thing. So as much as the egg was a little far, but I think someone like that needed it.
I think so too. And like I would agree with. Like people like this who clearly don't give a shit about the rules, who don't give a shit about other people's feelings. Like 9 times out of 10, in order for them to really get the memo, I do believe you kind of have to take things a little too far in order to get the memo. So like it's very possible the egg was necessary. I probably wouldn't have done that myself, but who knows? Like people like that, man, there's only one they're gonna learn. And the only way to confront a bully is to step up to him, man.
Step up to him, right?
And like it is bully-ish behavior doing this. Like, are parking spots the biggest thing in the world? Nah, I kind of think the idea of assigned parking spots is kind of weird or just kind of arbitrary. But like,
maybe for like apartments or something. Yeah, that makes sense.
Apartments, different thing. If you have an assigned parking spot for your apartment, nothing pisses me off more than when I pull up after a long day of work. I work gig jobs, so I sometimes get home at like midnight. And like if I pull up to my parking spot at midnight and someone is in my spot, bro, it's fucking go time. Like I pay for that spot. We don't have many spots outside of the 4 that we have for our apartment. Like apartments, different story. And if you have an assigned spot at your job, you have to respect that. I just think the idea of them is a little arbitrary, especially if this guy, dude, 2-minute walk. If you're not in your spot, bruh. Right. Now you're a hothead. You have a truck to overcompensate for your fragile masculinity, and you're a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what are we doing here,
you
brother?
Deserved it.
Yeah,
you deserved it.
100%.
Just who you are deserved.
Smile for a while.
Yeah, drinks a Monster every day.
Yeah, like shotgun a white Monster, take the sticky notes off your car, and just go about your life. Okay?
Right.
Take the L.
Yeah, no. So are you joining in on the sticky note thing? Like if someone kept taking my spot, and I was 100%. Like, yo, X, we're doing this.
100%.
Yeah.
You don't even have to coax me really that hard. You could just say, hey, we're going to do something, and I'm kind of like, cool.
Already on board.
I say yes, and then I ask what we're doing later.
Yeah, right.
I'm totally in. I'm totally in the sticky note thing. I love pranks. Like I said, I don't think there's a such thing as what is a prank? Everyone needs to be able to enjoy a prank. Like, I don't believe that, but there are good pranks and bad pranks.
Yeah.
But pranks in general, I'm typically kind of for, especially if they're lighthearted. In this case,
if someone's not getting like hurt or like damage isn't being done to something, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like someone was hiding in this dude's car for when he came in and punched him in the fucking head. Yeah. That maybe, I would still say is a prank. Very fucked up prank, but prank nonetheless. But yeah, this wasn't that. No one got hurt other than this man's ego, which sounds like it may have deserved to be hurt.
It. Yeah, definitely needed it.
Sucks to suck, buddy.
Now, if you were HR, how are you handling it?
Exactly how this person did. Exactly. I'm not firing anybody for this, especially with the context of like, hey, we had meetings. This was a topic of meetings. We've sent emails. I put sticky notes on this guy. I'm be like, no, it sounds like you did your due diligence to make sure that this guy gets the memo. To be honest with you, a little slap on the wrist.
On the wrist. Yeah. Hey, don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
Made your
blah,
point.
Blah, blah. But other than that, I'm moving on and no one's getting fired.
Okay.
That's me.
Have you ever done petty revenge? Like at work or like to your friend or somebody? Like,
not that I recall. I've done like small scale pranks on people, but I've never really worked like a job like this, as weird as it is. Like I was a dancer, I was a circus performer, I walked dogs, I was a Group X instructor. Like I don't even when I was like a customer experience manager and I did work more of a traditional office job, like pranks, I will say I have pulled pranks on people, but with the idea that if I know that I'm getting pranked back, I'm going to have a good time with it. Shout out to Zane. Zane, if you're listening, which I know you're not because you're Zane and I love you, but you don't strike me as a podcast guy. But I worked with this guy named Zane at the club that I worked at. And like I pranked him once by putting all of his office supplies in trash bags. His monitor, his pencils, his keyboard, everything was all covered in these trash bags, and he had to like untie them and cut them out if he wanted to do work. Super small scale. It was just stupid. I think it was April Fool's Day. But he one-upped me, and he denies it to this day, but I know it was him, Zane. I know it was you. I went in 2 days later, and all of my stuff in my office was all zip-tied to where I couldn't use the mouse, I couldn't use the keyboard. And I got to work that day at 6 a.m, so confused. I was like, what? Why? I was like, why can't I do my work? Blah, blah, blah. And then it just randomly hit me that I'd pranked Zane a couple days before, and this was retaliation for that. And have fun with that, dude.
Right.
Like, life is not so serious. I don't even care. Like, to be honest with you, if you work a 6-figure job for a really huge business and you're a VP, whatever, I still don't think that's a good enough reason to not have fun at work.
Right,
like,
yeah.
smile for a while, dude.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
If you're only creating an us and them mentality if you create this idea of like, I do this and must act this way and everyone below me must act this way. Like, you're going to create an us and them culture, which I feel like is only hinders a business, I think, long term, or I think creates an environment where people just feel indifferent about their job and don't have a problem leaving. Like, we hear about that a lot right now, as far as like people staying with jobs, is like no one's really sticking around. No one's feeling loyal to a job.
Right.
And I think things like that matter. Like, if you feel like you can't have fun at work, the place where you spend most of your life, 8 hours a day,
right,
for 5+ days a week. Like, if you can't have any sort of modicum of fun, you don't build that relationship with your workplace to where you feel like, hey, you know what? Even on bad days, I'm going to stick this out because I have a good time here. I like the people. We make jokes. We pull some safe surface level pranks on each other. And like, that's a relationship that you want to foster. When your work relationship or your work environment becomes so rigorous that it's just, we're here, we do work, we clock out. People don't feel inclined to need to stick around if a better opportunity comes up. It's true. That's why like I stuck with the job that I did for 10 years in fitness, is because like I knew that in the world or in the community that I created, we were able to have fun. When I was a personal trainer, when I was a Group X instructor, when I was in the front desk, like we'd joke, we'd have fun. Like I wanted to foster that because those are the things that really, really emotionally connect people with what they do. And I think further fosters that idea of like, hey, you know what? Like, I want to be here. I don't hate being here. Right. Maybe it's not where you want to be every day because it's still a job. Work's still got to get done. But like, I don't feel like 8 hours a day I'm just miserable or just a cog in a wheel. I'm a person still.
Right. And if you expect, like, even like as like a boss, like you need to understand that if your team enjoys being at work, you are going to get more output from
You're getting
them.
a better result.
Like they're going to do better their job because if you are somewhere where you enjoy being, you're going to put in more effort.
It's that idea of like, well, how do you put a price on loyalty or commitment, right? And like, people can say, "Oh, till the fucking cows come home." Like, this is not a place to have fun. This is a place to get work because that's productivity. And like, maybe on paper it is, but like, again, if you're needing to constantly rotate your people out because they don't feel inclined to stick around because a better opportunity comes around, like, you're just wasting a lot of money and resources retraining people to catch them up to where these people that left are, when you could have just created an environment that maybe wasn't 1,000,000% productive all the time, but you had people who knew how to do the job well, who enjoyed doing it, who found satisfaction being there and doing it. And I think you can't put a price on that.
Right.
I would rather work a job where I make a livable wage, let's say like $70,000 a year. I would rather work a job where I make $70,000 a year and enjoy going to where I work, enjoy the people I work for, and while still meeting those requirements of the boxes I need to check, where I can still pay rent, pay bills, than work a 6-figure job and it be like no fun, sitting down, you're productive, this is work, nothing else.
Right.
I'd rather take the financial hit and stay with that place longer in an environment that I enjoy than make more money in an environment that I hate. And I don't think people get that.
Yeah.
Or I don't think business leaders get that always.
They're so out of touch, like with like just life, like, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, oh yeah. And I don't know. I just think that they're judgmental. Like they're just like, no, like this is a job. You come here, we pay you to work. That's the thing. We pay you to do a job. Okay. But if the job gets done, at least let me enjoy my time here.
Yeah.
Like the job I worked at before, like the restaurant, it was always busy work. Like even as a manager, there's like, no, make sure your team's doing something. Always, all times, like for their whole fucking 8-hour shift.
Yeah.
And it's like, geez, they're going to be exhausted. Like you want them to come in here 5 days a week and just like completely wipe themselves out, or else they're not doing anything.
Agreed.
And it's a crazy way to see things.
It is. And like the older I get to, and like the more the conversation around businesses and business etiquette and classism, it makes its way into the conversation, the more I realize, like, you know what, like, if you're a business is striving on just making more money, more, and like that is your goal, like I don't really feel inclined to work hard for that.
Right.
Like, I like to work hard for people who also like to work hard, but also know how to enjoy themselves while working hard. And, and if that means that, like, I'm putting myself as, like, obviously I don't own a business, but if I was to own a business, I don't know if I would prioritize constantly making more money. I don't know if that would be my main focus.
I think you get to a point where, like, you make enough. Like, now make sure, like, one, like, if I own a company, right, say it was, like, bringing in, like, I don't know, 30, 40 million a year.
Sure.
Right? I'm profiting like 20. And I know some of my people can't afford to live. I'm going to take another $5 million cut.
Yeah, I'm taking the L.
People.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Let's make sure everybody who's working for me can afford the cost of living comfortably, not just like barely get by.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I want them to have a car. I want them to have like a nice apartment or like be able to afford a house.
They should be making enough to be able to work themselves towards whatever financial goals they're trying to achieve also.
Right.
Especially if I'm getting mine, you know what I mean? Like, I get, like, as a leader of a business, a CEO, whatever, like, you want to feel like you achieved something and that, like, you financially are benefiting from all the work that you put into managing this business. I understand that, but like to your point also, like, if you're having all of your financial needs met and you're able to still save money and you own a house, you have a yard, you have a dog, you have a car, you have a lovely family, all this shit, whatever the fuck you want. Like, if you're meeting those, what purpose does it serve really at the end of the day to make more?
To make more, right. Like, I mean, like, that's one thing that bothers me, dude. It's like, you got these CEOs making like $100 million profits, $600 million profits, but yet you have people and you have people who can't even fucking afford health insurance.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's fucking criminal to me. Yeah. That is criminal to me.
Like, that you're okay with knowing that you make this much money, and the people that are the reason, right? Like, you could say they're the lower end people, but I'm sorry. Companies don't need VPs, right? They don't need directors. You know what they need? The frontline people who are running shit.
They need the guy at the fucking cashier who's ringing up your Big Mac. Like, that's who they need at the end of the day. Exactly.
The people who are making the food, the people who are like doing all that stuff. That is the important work.
Shit like that is why I really disagree with, like, the idea of, like, well, minimum wage is for high school students. It's like, no, minimum wage is for everybody. Right. Let's get one thing straight. We're all subject to everybody
minimum wage. And if you think that minimum wage is only for high school people, then only pay high school people that and make sure the adults are getting paid a livable wage.
Exactly. If you hire adults at your business, you should be paying them something livable. Period. Full stop. Because our economy is way too bad right now to take anything less. And I don't give a shit what the job is, to be honest with you. It could be fucking Mickey D's. It could be fucking Taco Bell. It could be a fucking CEO. Like, if you hire adults, pay them a livable wage. Period.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, like, I'm starting to, like, hear this is companies are paying people assuming that they're splitting rent with somebody.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, okay, like, hey, we're going to pay you this amount of money, but we're just going to assume you have a partner and you're going 50-50.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's fucking wild. You should pay me to live on my own.
Yeah.
Like, without needing any assistance from anybody. Don't just assume because I'm a certain age, I'm married and have somebody else like splitting rent with me or like mortgage with me.
And that's what I mean too about the whole 16 thing. It's like I do think these CEOs are assuming, we don't need to pay our frontline workers that much because they're mostly kids. And it's like, no, you're assuming that.
Yeah.
Do not assume the financial position of your employees. Do not assume that you know where they're going to be in a couple of years. And I'll kind of explain what I mean by that. Is like, you in the highest as leadership of a business do not get to assume the living situation of the people who work for you. That is not your place. That is not your job as the employer to assume that. And I mean that in case too, because like I had a friend of mine who took up this job, and it was kind of out of the way. It wasn't for a ton of money. He was actually making more money in his old job, but they told him, hey, this is a good job for you to take for growth opportunities. And if you do this job for a couple years, you're going to be put in a position to take this job when this person retires. And I think that conversation is arguably one of the most toxic conversations you can have in a business setting, because there's a couple things. One, as the employer, you're assuming that the person you're offering this job to can afford the financial hit to be able to take on this job that doesn't pay as much, for the idea that down the line they'll pay more. That's a lot of assuming you're doing. And if you're assuming that they can do that, I think you are not benefiting the employee. You're only benefiting yourself. You're saying, hey, you're going to take a financial hit so I can still meet my bottom line, but in a couple of years, it'll be worth it. You're assuming what's going to be happening in a couple of years and whether or not that person can make that work for a couple of years, right? Like with how things change constantly, sure, they might be able to take that financial hit now, but like, let's say the fucking economy crashes next year. Let's say all of these other factors happen, and not only are they making less than other people in your business who may or may not be doing the same job, but like you also put them in a position where they could not do that job for that year before it crashed to help offset the cost of now how things cost a year later when it does crash. You know, you're assuming a lot, and we all need as a society to be in the position where we are saving money if we are looking to survive what is happening now in the economy. Like if you're not making enough now and you're barely scraping by now, you're not going to make it next year.
Right.
And as the employee,
and it's not like the employers are not like keeping up with like the cost. Like first off,
that's the
2% raise or a 3% raise is the most insane thing that they think is okay. Like, okay, you're going to go from this and like you're going to add $7 to each check.
Especially if you manage a multi-million-dollar business, 6% is shit.
It's dog shit. Yeah.
It's dog shit, and
to think that like that's okay with paying people, like, and then you try to get more than that. It's like, oh, we can't. It's not in the budget. First off, you're not going to tell me it's not in the budget, right? Because I see how much hundreds of millions this company's profiting, not just profiting. It's in the budget. It's just you're being cheap and you want to, be greedy and make more money and not let people that work for you make a living wage.
Yeah. It's fucking ass. So like you're assuming those things. And three, like I've this is something I've grown to learn because has happened to me is like people will say, hey, if you do this for a couple of years, you'll be set up for success down the line because this is where we're going. Businesses can change the direction of their business at any time. And what someone tells you is the plan for 3 years from now might not be the plan 6 months from now. Right. They might completely shift gears. And then you as the employee are fucked.
Yeah.
Because you put your stock into this person that you trusted that said, hey, this is where we're going. This is going to set you up. And now that plan goes by the wayside and now you're fucking stuck.
Yeah.
That is what happened to me. And like
departments can close.
You can
lose your position, and
jobs that are deemed important one day might not be as important a month from now. And there's no way that more often than not, there is no way for that person who is giving you that advice to know that when they give it to you. So they shouldn't be giving it to you in the fucking first place. Right. And if you fall into that trap, I feel for those people who have fallen into that trap because I was that person. And
a lot of jobs like dangle promotions over people's head, like,
and they just don't fucking know.
Yeah. It's like, no, you come to me with the promotion when you're ready to give it to me. Now, like, oh yeah, if you keep doing what you're doing 6 months from now, you're going to be like this. And it's like, okay, well.
The retiring one is a big one too, because they'll be like, okay, cool. In like 3 years when this person retires, you'll be set for that job. What if that person decides they don't want to fucking retire? Like that person can easily decide one day, like, you know what, I'm not done yet. I want to keep doing this job. And now 3 years becomes 4, 5, 6 years. And nothing's changed. And like you feel like you wasted your time.
Yeah.
Because like arguably you did, but it's not your fault. You were being fucking strung along. Employers, man, they got to be careful with how they string people along. And it's easy to string along desperate people.
I think they need to come back down to earth and realize like people are people and they're not your robots. They're not your slaves. They're here. People are not living to work. They're working to live.
It's also easy just to string along desperate people. Yeah. And right now, a lot of us are desperate right now to feel happy, to financially get our needs met. Like, it's easy to manipulate and promise something to people who are desperate, who can't afford to say no.
Yeah.
And that's where I think employers, whether they realize it or not, are taking advantage of their employees, man. You're at the end of the day, you're just taking advantage of desperate people. And it's just fucking sad, man. It's fucking sad.
Yeah.
Love that shit.
Right.
I totally forgot about this petty guy.
Yeah.
Not petty, justified, 100%.
Justified, absolutely.
The more down this conversation, I'm like, yeah, put a fucking egg in his car.
Yeah, put an egg in his car. Yeah.
Get heated.
All right. This next one's pretty decent.
How many more stories do you have?
Curious. I got one.
Let's do it. Let's make this our last one. Last story right here. Petty or justified?
Petty or justified.
Let's fucking cook, Ron.
All right. So this one's called The Betrayal of the Borrowed Car.
Ooh.
Written by Derek, 28.
Good old Derek.
All right. So I've been friends with Kyle since high school. We've been through a lot together, broke college nights, road trips, being on the same sports team together, etc. So when he asked to borrow my car for like a few weeks ago, because this was in the shop, I didn't hesitate. I say, handed over the keys, trusted friends. But here's a problem. Kyle didn't treat borrowed things with respect. The first time he brought my car back, there was fast food wrappers and cups like all over the passenger seat and the passenger floor. I was a little annoyed by it, but whatever, just brushed it off. The second time, he kept it overnight, and I had to figure out a way to work the next morning, and I couldn't get a hold of him. So I ended up being late for work and, got in trouble, which, again, very upset, pushed me a little bit, but brushed it off. Third time, I let him use it, and this was the final straw. He brought my car back with a big scrape and a dent on the passenger side door.
Okay.
And this is the thing, he swore that it wasn't him that did it and even tried blaming me, saying that I did it but just forgot. Tossed my keys at me and walked away.
Okay.
Yeah. So being upset, obviously I had to call my insurance company, get a quote to get it fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Took care of it. My insurance rates went up due to needing them to put money in towards it.
Yeah.
I was really upset about it, but I kept my cool. I didn't blow up on him, but instead I remembered that his car was in the shop because he was getting it upgraded for a car show that he entered in.
Ooh, now we're cooking.
Yeah. And at this time, the car show was 36 hours away. And so I was like, hey, can I borrow your car for some quick errands? I told him that I let my cousin use mine. He's like, yeah, of course. But don't damage it before my car show or else. ...
All right.
Yeah. Well, the thought was already in my head. I took the keys of his sports car and drove off. Of course, I used it to run errands, might as well since I'm already out.
Well, yeah, you got a sports car, baby. Might as well be a baller, drive it around a little bit.
Exactly. But I also took a nice joyride in it for a couple of hours, hitting the highway, hitting the gas down.
Hell yeah.
Taking it to speeds I probably shouldn't have. But what he didn't know is that I was still upset about the way he treated my car.
Mm-hmm.
So on the way back, I chose to get my payback. I saw a fire hydrant.
Ooh, okay.
On a pretty empty road, so I know nobody would see. And I went right at it. I only went around 5 miles an hour, but it was enough to do significant damage to the front end.
I'm like 5 miles. It doesn't sound fast, but like 5 miles hitting anything, like you could still do some. You could still do some shit.
And the fire hydrants are solid.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. They have a lot of those sharp edges and shit too.
Yeah, yeah. So it did some significant damage to the front end. Justice felt served. I brought it back, and when I parked the car, he came and freaked out. I told him that I didn't know what he was talking about. That was there before I borrowed the car. Tossed the keys and walked away. Oh, man. Kyle had to pull out of the car show and wasn't able to get signed up again for another 6 months.
Fuck.
Yeah. I felt like it was an eye for an eye, and I still don't feel bad about it to this day. And me and Kyle haven't talked since.
All right.
Yeah, so that was a lot to.
So I was raised on the idea that if you borrow something from anybody, you return it
in better
condition than you got.
Yes.
The same or better, preferably better.
Yeah,
that was always the thing.
Like you take someone's car, take it for a car wash.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of
Get the inside vacuumed. If you borrow anything, you always return it in better condition than when you got it. So for that way, I do feel for OP because like I get the impression that it was pretty definitive that he didn't do the scratch. He knew the scratch wasn't there when he gave it to him. And if you're going to be someone who borrows shit from people, you need to understand that. Like, hey, if I cannot afford to replace the thing that I'm borrowing, or if I'm not willing to help fix or help replace the thing that I borrow if I damage it, you have no business borrowing that thing
in the first place.
The first place. And I feel that way about small things, big things. If I borrow this coffee cup from you, be like, yo, can I borrow a coffee cup? And I break it. The very least I can do is buy a new one for you. The very least I can do is buy you a new one.
That'd be super. It's like, this is my favorite Stitch cup.
I was about to say,
don't break my Stitch cup.
We know we're getting a tattoo of Stitch. We talked about this, baby. We talked about it.
It's coming.
Yeah. But like, and honestly, I wouldn't even do that. I would buy you a new cup and I'd probably buy you a couple grounds of coffee. Be like, yo, hook you up, bro. Sorry about that. I appreciate you letting me borrow it, but I got you. But if I, for some reason, I'm like, oh, I can't afford to replace this cup and I can't guess what, baby? You don't get that shit then, you know? And that goes for cars.
And to blame it on you too. Like if I broke your cup and I was like, oh, you probably did that before.
Yeah, like, oh, I can't find my cup. You'd be like, oh, I found it broken. I'd be like, oh, you probably broke it a week. Like, what the fuck?
Right. And like that, a dent in the door, that's not subtle. You know you did that.
No.
Right? It's
you
not
remember,
like
you remember. It sounds like this is the size dent and scrape that you would remember making
doing,
if you did. Because like I got some dings on my Kia and shit, and I'm just kind of whatever. I'm not like a huge car guy to where like a couple scratches or dings bother me. But like it sounds like this is a considerably sizable one that you'd remember making.
Right, yeah.
Especially
like,
if he felt inclined to go to a fire hydrant to get his revenge. There's no way there's a scrape from a fire hydrant that you don't notice.
Right, yeah.
You know, so I have imagined if it's an eye for an eye, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Your friend's a dick, bro. Your friend's a dick. Don't let him borrow
Absolutely.
shit. Based off this post, I get the impression you're probably not friends anymore.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Now, obviously, I feel like in most cases, like it would be justified, right? Like, okay, an eye for an eye kind of thing.
Yes.
But do you think that the timing before the car show made it a little more petty? Like, hey, maybe you should have waited, let him do the car show.
I will be honest with you. Revenge, when it comes to something as permanent or something that's going to be as financially straining as like damaging a car, to me is never worth it. And that's the kind of the difference between the last one we talked about and this one. Like sticky notes, at the end of the day, you could take sticky notes off a car. You can take a cone out of the bottom. Any damage he has to his truck, he kind of did on his own for not noticing the cones. That's kind of why the egg thing was a little too, like a little too far for me. It's because like now you're kind of going into like more serious damage territory.
Right.
And that's what it kind of feels like here. Whereas like I get it's an eye for an eye, but you're now in some ways like you could be charged for this like legally.
Yeah.
Both people technically could have. And like to be honest with you, if like this scrape and this dent made you that mad, I probably would have like and your friendship and you were willing to go to such lengths to get revenge. I might have just pulled the trigger and like handled it legally, to be honest with you, and just been like, hey, you know what? I know you did this, brother. Like we're gonna figure this out, and I'm gonna get this money for this because I know you did it.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts. Versus getting revenge this way because now you're getting into the debate too of like not all cars are equal, right? Some cars cost more than others. Some types of damage is harder to replace than others. Like replacing a part of a vintage vehicle
It's going to be
is going to be a lot more
costly.
expensive than a car like
a 2015 Kia or something.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. So like now you're kind of getting into this idea of whose damage is worse.
Right.
And I feel like you are opening yourself up to a much bigger problem down the line if this person were to retaliate with legal force. You know, and like I think that when you get revenge, you need to find a way to put yourself in the position of power, quote unquote, to where like you control the situation. Of like, hey, I'm getting my revenge, but I know that I'm in the right for X, Y, and Z. I know that I cannot be retaliated on for X, Y, or Z. And I know this. It's like once you're in that position, then it's like, okay, you've learned your lesson. Like in the last one, right? Right. He sent the emails about the parking spot. He had the meeting about the parking spot. He exhausted all those options first, then got revenge, and that was the nail in the coffin. Boom. He put himself in the position of power, put himself in the right side of things, and then got his revenge. This guy, I don't think did so much because this can come to bite you in the ass very quickly.
Like, I think in like some like on the other end of it, it kind of seems like it's Derek's fault. Like the first time you gave him your car, it was a mess. Okay, fine, you could forgive that. The second time, he kept your car overnight and you were late to work. I think after that moment, you should be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I can't let him borrow my car no more. That's it.
Yeah, you need to pull the plug on this borrow situation.
You
now.
seemed like it was getting bad. Like every time you gave him your car, it became a problem.
I'll be honest, when he didn't respect it the first time, that'd be one and done for me. I'd be like, nah, I'm good. Like,
don't touch
this
my
car's
car.
a fucking mess. Like I had to spend hours cleaning it. Now, not only am I hooking you up, but now I'm putting in the legwork to clean up your fucking mess too.
Right.
I'm doing you 2 favors now, and not about it. So I don't want to say it's petty. It is bold, and it is maybe not the right move. I'm not sure Justified. I can't give it a Justified.
I can't give Justified just because like your car was dented and you had to get it fixed, but he didn't prevent, like, you were late to work, whatever, but you just had to order an Uber, get to work from your site, whatever.
Yeah.
You ruined an entire car show And that obviously, if it's a car show, the car had to be expensive, and he just got it upgraded too. I don't know what upgrades; it just said upgrades.
Yeah,
like so that I think was a little beyond justified.
I think by all means, this person, the OP, had the right to go to their friend and be like, "Hey, I was late for work. I had to pay for an Uber. I want you to pay for this Uber that I had to take, brother, because I was supposed to get this car back."
Right.
By all means, fair game. I would say even going as far as to get them to get your car fixed. Absolutely fair game, and I think you should have done that because cars are expensive, and you don't know what kind of damage is done to a car really at the end of the day without getting it checked. So I think they should have paid for that. I think going ahead and damaging their car was. It's not an eye for an eye. It's not. It's
like,
not
maybe like a drive through a toll, get him a ticket or something. Like,
yeah, by all means. Yeah,
do that. Like, because then he'll have to pay money that he didn't give you.
Yeah, honestly, park the car in an illegal parking spot, get a ticket, and put the ticket in the fucking glove compartment.
Yeah.
And when they say, be like, "Oh, you must have got that ticket, bro."
Exactly.
That to me is a little
like park in front of the fire hydrant, wait there for a little bit, let a cop give you a ticket. Yeah,
there we go. Honestly, that to me is more justified than the actual physical damaging of the car. I just think once things get physically damaging, it's when shit's getting a little dicey and you really put yourself in a vulnerable spot there as either the one getting revenge or the one being revenged on. It's a desperate line you're walking there. But
that was that's
dude.
That was the last one.
Dude, there's some good stories there. I like this subreddit. Let's definitely take a look more down the petty or justified. We have a couple other subreddits we want to start exploring too. So we're really excited to go down that road with you guys. We appreciate y'all listening. Like I said, if you've tuned in after a week off, we're really thankful for you to keep on listening. Hopefully we won't have to do that again, but we'll make sure that when we do, we make sure we let you guys know. Just know that we love you guys. Yeah. We love our listeners. We're always happy to have you guys on this road with us and down this journey. And hopefully we made you smile. Made you laugh. Maybe we said some controversial things that you don't agree with. Maybe you agree with them. Let us know.
Send us your opinions.
Yeah, send us your thoughts. Yeah, we do not claim ownership of having the right opinions always. Yeah. We just claim to have opinions, which are like assholes. We all have them. But as always, guys, this has been another episode of Rut Reads Reddit and Out of the Rut. It's your boy Axe.
It's Ron.
And we will see you guys next week. Stay lit. Never quit.